ever felt like you're pouring love into a relationship, but it's just not landing? Like you're speaking French, but your partner or your friend, they're only understanding Japanese? What if your partner or your friend is saying, I love you, but you just can't hear it? Today, we're going to decode love languages because love isn't just how you give it, it's about how others receive the love we're giving. Grab a notebook because we're going to dive into actionable steps to improve your relationships right now. So, hey nerds, welcome back to Nerdy Psychology, where we break down mental health and relationships with a fun, strengths based, and well, of course, nerdy twist. I'm Dr. Angel, and every Tuesday we bring you quirky, outside the box insights to help you level up your life. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. I always believe if our dreams don't scare us, they're not big in us. Thank you, Miss Eleanor Roosevelt, for that quote because it is one of my ride and die quotes. So now let's talk about love languages and why, well, so many of us feel unheard in our relationships. So, first of all, what's the question? Dr. Angel, what do you mean by love languages? What are these love languages? I'm not quite sure. I might have heard the term, but I really don't know the nitty gritties about it. Well, there's a wonderful resource out there. Dr. Gary Chapman, he developed the concept of five love languages. And there's lots of great resources and books that he has put out to really take deep dives into this. And today we're going to kind of skim the surface, so to speak, of what it is and how we can apply it into our lives. So, whether you're in a romantic relationship or navigating a friendship or a parent child relationship, or maybe you just want to understand yourself better, all of this applies to you. So here they are. In no particular order, and no love language is better or worse than another one. There's no right, there is no wrong. They're all just a little different, and it's all okay. The first one is words of affirmation. So, this is an individual who feels loved when they hear positive words spoken to them. Things like, I appreciate you, or I am so proud of you. Those types of words can go a long way with individuals who really respond to words of affirmation. The second one is acts of service. Well, this is what I call love with legs on it because acts of service is when we're doing something for somebody without being asked or told, something we think they would appreciate. So, like maybe making them coffee or fixing something around the house or taking care of a responsibility maybe they would normally take care of. That would be what acts of service looks like. The third one is receiving gifts. And it's not about expensive gifts, it's about meaningful ones, small surprises, handwritten notes, or coffee from your favorite shop, or grocery shopping and adding a few extra snacks that you might like that you don't normally treat yourself to. The gifts language is about those little meaningful, thoughtful things that someone can do and bring to another human to make them feel loved and valued. The next one is quality time. This is giving love with undivided attention. Things like deep conversations and shared experiences. So these are the things we do with the other person. Maybe it's going for a hike or talking about our hopes and our dreams or seeing the beach and sunset or doing a puzzle together. Those are some of the things that someone who likes quality time may like. And lastly, but not least, we have physical touch. And this does not just mean sexual activity. This means actually having any kind of physical touch. If it's a hug, if it's holding hands, it could be just sitting close to somebody. It's about a physical connection to another person. So, do you want to know your love language? There is a free quiz at 5lovelanguages.com. We're going to drop that in the description below, but there's a free quiz at 5lovelanguages.com. And I want you to drop your results in the comment. Let's see what our love languages are. So, You might already have a little bit of a sense about like how you like to receive love, but maybe you're unsure. Think about this. When do you feel most loved? What's happening? When do you feel hurt or disconnected? What's happening? What's missing? What's not there? So oftentimes, when our love language is being hit, we feel so connected and so valued and just so supportive. And it's the opposite thing of our love language that can make us feel so disconnected and so hurt. And so, really sit back and look, what makes me feel loved? When do I feel love? Do I feel love when I come home and my son and daughter clean the kitchen without being asked? Do I feel love when I come home and there's pretty flowers sitting on the table? Do I feel love when someone just tells me that I've helped them and that they appreciate me? Do I feel love when I'm just sitting close to someone cuddling and watching a funny TV show with them? How do you express love? How do you receive love? What's your natural language? Also, think about what makes you feel the most disconnected and hurt in a relationship, because that will also give you a clue. And normally, we don't just speak one language, love language. Most of us have a primary and a secondary, usually one or two that we really prefer over the others. And some of them can be so non preferred that we don't even see that as love. So let's see this in action. Meet Alex. Alex's love language is words of affirmation. When Alex's partner texts things like, I hope you have a great day, I love you, it makes Alex feel secure and loved and valued. But when Alex's partner forgets to say, I love you, Alex starts wondering, are they mad at me? Did I do something wrong? Then there's Sam. Sam doesn't care about words, but when Sam's partner fills up his gas tank or brings him lunch when he's swamped at work, that's love. See how different love languages impact relationships? So if Alex and Sam were in a relationship, a friendship, a romantic relationship, it doesn't matter. They're speaking two different languages. And Alex may not feel loved and valued because words aren't as important to Sam. And Sam may not feel loved and valued because Sam may get lots of wonderful words, but Sam really loves the little things that people do. So, action step: take the quiz, reflect on your past relationship, and see what makes you feel the most loved. Now, let's talk about meeting the needs of the other people in our life. We're going to flip that script a little bit, because knowing your love language is great, but the real magic happens when you understand the people who you love, their love languages. So, here's the deal: we naturally show love the way we want to receive it, but that doesn't always work in our relationships. Love isn't about what's easiest for me, it's about what makes the other person feel valued and loved and seen and heard. So let's talk about this in some more examples. Let's take Jake and Lisa. Jake surprises Lisa with flowers and handwritten notes because he loves receiving gifts. But Lisa doesn't react the way he hoped. Why? Well, because Lisa's love language is quality time. She would rather that he just put his phone away and actually be present in the moment. They're speaking two different languages. There's Mark and Jess. Mark's love language is physical touch, and Jen's love language is acts of service. Mark constantly wants to cuddle and hold hands and be physically close, but Jess feels love when Mark does the dishes or makes her coffee or breakfast in bed. When they don't recognize this, Jess, she may feel smothered, and Mark, he may feel unloved. See the disconnect? But there's a solution. The great Maya Angelou said, love recognizes no barriers. It jumps hurdles, leaps fences, and penetrates walls to arrive at its final destination full of hope. So, action step, ask your partner, your loved ones, your friends, your family members, your kids, what makes them feel most loved? What's something small I could do that would mean a lot to you? And here's the kicker, because then you actually need to do it. Receiving and giving love are two different things. And the more we can understand how we receive is helpful for us to know when we're feeling hurt or unvalued, how we can communicate to the people around us. But equally, it's important for us to be aware of how the people around us receive love and give love so that we can speak that individual's language, because that's what love means. Love is going outside my comfort zone and what's easy for me and doing something because it's meaningful to you. That's what love is really all about. I'll tell you a silly little story. When my kids were younger, one of my boys, I have three boys, and one of my boys loved to give gifts of things he really wanted. And so one Mother's Day, I ended up with a whole collection of about 300 little water balloons. And it really made me sit and think for a second, because he was showing me so much how he loved me by what he was bringing me. Now, a Mother's Day gift of water balloons really didn't mean a lot to me in the scope of I didn't go play water balloons, but it meant a lot to me in the scope that I knew that was really important to him, because he really loved those water balloons. And so sometimes the people around us are telling us they love us, and we're not even aware of it. We can't see it and understand it. I mean, think of anyone who's ever traveled. If you've gone to a foreign country or you've been in a space that maybe you're not as familiar with the terms or the language, you could walk in speaking your language all day long, but if that's not the language of the people or the place you're at, we're not going to be able to communicate to each other. If you walk into Italy speaking English and they're talking Italian to you, we might be able to context clues a few words out, but we're not communicating in the same language. And love has languages. Love has its language. And the people around us have the language of their love. And so it's really important that we are actually following through with helping to meet people in their language of love, not just expecting them to do it all our way. And that's what makes relationships meaningful and important, is that we love and care for somebody enough that we're going to go out of our way to do something that we know they would really like. So, love isn't about trying harder, it's about loving smarter. Learning to speak your partner's love language can completely change your relationship. Comment below, what's your love language? And do you and your partner even speak the same one? Or are you constantly in, the Google Translate mode? If you found this helpful or informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notification, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's hit that 10,000 subscriber goal. And as always, stay curious, be kind, keep your mind nerdy. See you next week.